an interesting last couple of days it's been, man. I have been in my nostalgia, bro, like just knee deep in there, son. Just grateful for the fact that I lived in the mid-2000s when Shonen Jump was just going in, dog. Katekyo Hitman Reborn, Gotama, D. Greyman, Death Note, Beelzebub, Toriko. Like, yo, greatness, dog. What's being released? Ice Shield 21! Legendary series being put out back to back in the mid-2000s, but in the midst of all of that, the three that reign supreme, the three that I look forward to the most every single, well, I can't really say I look forward to them the most every single week because everything was just so fire, but on a consistent basis, they brought the most entertainment, the most discussion value, and it was always such a fun time whenever you sat down and read the best-selling manga in history, Naruto and Bleach, bro. The big flipping three. Now, with that being said, last night, my boy Francisco Silva on Twitter, he sent me Bleach Ending 1. And it was crazy. It was a crazy coincidence because later on that night, whenever I was talking with my friends, one of them was watching Bleach. My boy Chris, the long-haired otaku. And so, after he finished watching that episode, I was like, you know, I feel like watching some Bleach, dog, you know? So I'll put on episode 309. Y'all know episode 309 is legendary, man. If you don't know what episode 309 is, kore ga saiga no Getsu ga tensho teru. What y'all know about that, dog? But anyways, so I put it on. And at the same time, we put it on too. So it's like, oh, like, we're gonna have to have a Bleach watch party, dog. So last night, the squad got together, and we watched Bleach episode 309. I've watched this episode so many times, I can recite every word, every music cue. It's just one of those episodes. Episode 309 in most long-running anime is godly. One Piece episode 309 is the Jet Gatling. Legendary episode. Legendary. 11 out of 10 episode. Same thing, Final Getsugo Bleach. Then in Detective Conan, you have the Akai Shuichi stuff. And then in Gintama, it's FS. It's F flipping S. So, I mean, episode 309 is legendary no matter where you look. And so, after watching the episode last night, I was in a massive Bleach mood. And of course, when I get in a massive Bleach mood, and I start remembering how it was at that point in time, because Bleach was the series that really made me want to start checking out a lot of other anime. And of course, through that, I got into One Piece, and then One Piece made me want to check out a whole bunch of manga. So it was thanks to those two, I went and got into this entire medium of wanting to go out and search for other series. Because Naruto and Dragon Ball, Hakusho, Kenshin, I watched those on television and it was just fine, but with Bleach, it was just something different where I just wanted to know more. Like, I couldn't just watch it on television. And then through Bleach and through Naruto, I went online and started watching the subs and whatnot, and then when I got into One Piece, I started reading manga, and it's been a lot of fun ever since, but every single time that I think about Bleach, though, it always brings me back to like that era, the mid-2000s, and what was popular at that time, like Gurren Lagann, Blood Plus, Code Geass, and all these series, Clannad. And so it always puts me like in a nostalgic mood, and I decided to bring out my Shonen Jump volume, and I decided, why don't we take a look here on the channel? Because every single one of my videos, you see this right here. This right here is one of my favorite magazines ever created. Y'all know how I feel about Return to Sabaody, and so that's why that sticks out right there. It was the first time we ever got to have Luffy in his post-time skip outfit anywhere here in the States. And so whenever I bought that, it was so awesome. I was like, yo, I finally get to own a piece of that legendary arc, of that legendary saga here in my house, man. And it was y'all know how I feel about it, man. I absolutely adore and love Return to Sabaody. But I have a whole bunch of Shonen Jump issues from back in the day. And so I decided to bring out this one, man. Because this one in particular was one that me and my cousins used to reread all the time. You know, we still talk all the time. They're practically every single day we talk to each other. But growing up, we were always together. And one thing that always connected us was manga. You know, especially the big three. We would always sit down, talk about it, theorize, discuss, you know, before YouTube was around, and before even forums, because It's thanks to One Piece that I really got into the whole forum thing. Well, I can't really say that because I was big on Naruto Arena back in the day through those forums. But when it comes to like solely discussing the series, it was definitely through All Along Park and whatnot. But when it comes to this issue right here, this was the issue that we used to reread a lot, man. It was one that we found in, I think it was a Walmart, and one of us put on the 5. We came back to my grandma's house, and we sat down and we read this. And this issue will always have a special place in my heart, dog. I know all of the content in here, but it's been so long since I've actually looked through it that I'm actually really, really excited, man, just to go and look through it and just look at those experiences. Look at how much this thing costs, dude. $4.99, $5 for almost 400 pages of manga. An amazing price. So this came out in June 2009, Volume 7, Issue 6. Now, June 2009, it was when Marineford was starting in the manga. I believe at the same time, Bleach in the anime was in the middle of the Arrancar saga, but it was specifically, I'm trying to remember like the exact thing. I think it might have been in the middle of like Grimjaw versus Ichigo round 2 or around there, like they're in the visored part of the arc. Because I remember in November is whenever the Grimjaw versus Ichigo stuff aired on Adult Swim. And then for Naruto, I'm pretty sure this was around the time that Kakashi was fighting Pain, if I'm not mistaken. Or it might have already been Naruto versus Pain. No, it was, because January of that year was Naruto versus Pain, so around here, probably be around the Nagato stuff. Maybe a little bit before the 5 Kage Summit. But that was in the Japanese Jump. This is in the American Jump. In the American Jump, man. So we're going to be looking through the American Jump version right here of all this. June 2009, Volume 7, Issue 6. And right here we have the table of... first of all, shout out to my boy Yusei, bro. Look at Yusei, man. What y'all know about Yu-Gi-Oh! 5Ds? So right here we have the table of contents. You see Naruto, you have the Bo-bo-bo, you have Tegami Bachi. I've only experienced Tegami Bachi through Shonen Jump. And it was that way with Siren for a long time until I actually got into it. I love me some Siren, dog. I know I've talked about it before on stream, but Siren is another one of those series like Beelzebub and like those type of series that I just really, really loved. And it's a shame that they never really got the proper conclusions, and Reborn, I guess you could add to that as well, that they never got the proper conclusion that they deserved. Especially Beelzebub, man. I love... It's hard for me to choose between Beelzebub and Reborn, because Reborn, for me, I feel like I love its character. It's so hard. It's just, on a chapter-by-chapter basis, Beelzebub was so much fun to read, and it was so good. But then I have the memories of the arcs in Reborn, but whatever. So we have right here Naruto on the top, Bo-bo-bo, Tegami Bachi, Hakusho, the best-selling manga in history, Bleach, and Yugioh GX. And then on the bottom you have my boy Ryuk from Death Note. A Dragon Ball Evolution poster, bro. Dragon Ball Evolution, bro. Yo, this was back whenever they would add... So right here we have the reader mail, and it says, Dear Shonen Jump, I love your magazine. I own almost every issue. I'm really into Naruto, Bleach, Death Note, and DBZ. This person wasn't into the best-selling manga in history? Have you ever thought about making more than 12 issues a year? I know it would be a lot of work, but it would be awesome to have... let me see. Well, Mr. Brown, we haven't mastered Shadow Clone Jutsu yet. Hey, facts. No, I'm grateful that we got what we got. I am quite happy Shonen Jump finally made it to MySpace. Watch out, bro. MySpace. Yo, I remember. I don't remember the name of this game. If one of y'all could tell me what the name of this game is, I remember whenever I used to play Naruto Arena and RuneScape, that I used to see this junk in the corner. I don't know what the name of the damn game is, but I remember seeing that all the time in the advertisements. Here we have Dragon Ball collectible cards. Yo, and then yeah, if only I would have known that at that point in time, Dokkan Battle would be such a major part of my gaming life, which is literally just this. It's a collectible card game being played on mobile. And then of course, yo, man, even the shirts. Look at that Kenpachi shirt, dude. That thing looks beast. I think I still have this shirt. I think I still do. The Kisuke Urahara hat, man. I remember when I bought that. Where is that Keisuke about at? It might not even be in my house. Let me see. Looking through here. J-Pop Style Shop. Zazzle.com/bizmedia. Gundam 00. Rune Factory Frontier. Aren't they bringing back Rune Factory? I think we saw that in the latest Nintendo Direct. Rosario plus Vampire, man. Or my cousin was really into that. I never really watched that, man. Naruto Shippuden Ninja Council 4, man. Now, I don't remember playing Ninja Council 4, but I recall, I think, playing the first 3, because I think the first 2 were out for Game Boy, right? And I think the first one I might have rented from Blockbuster. The second one, I think I might have also rented from Blockbuster. I know I owned the third one, though, because that was the one on the DS. And that game was goat. Shout out to Blockbuster, man. Blockbuster, yo! The greatness of Ultimate Ninja 4, bro. That game was fire. That game to me is how a lot of Dragon Ball fans feel about Dragon Ball Budokai 4, aka Infinite Worlds. That's how I feel about Ultimate Ninja 4. You know, even though at the same time Ultimate Ninja Storm had become a thing, so the Ultimate Ninja series was already left in the dust. After Ultimate Ninja 3, that's where a lot of people stopped. And Ultimate Ninja 3 still, to me, is probably the top creme de la creme when it comes to having fun in a Naruto game, just because of the amazing memories that I have of playing on the good old PS2 in my grandma's house with my cousins. But, you know, the first 2 were a lot of fun as well. It's just the third one perfected everything that the first 2 had. Added the whole clashes, and added more ultimates that you could do. The thing about Ultimate Ninja 4, though, is the Ultimate Ninja 4 was the first Shippuden thing. And at the time, Shippuden was hot, man. I mean, I know that now we look back on Shippuden, we look back at Part 1. A lot of people prefer Part 1. A lot of people prefer Shippuden. But at the time, man, Shippuden was the thing. Shippuden was the thing. Everyone loved rocking the black headband that Naruto had with the jumpsuit, bro. That was heat. And listening to Habata Isara for the opening 3 of Shippuden? Are you kidding me? That jump was nasty, dog. That was everybody's ringtone in high school. But, yeah, Ultimate Ninja 4 was it was a great game, man. It was a great game, and like I said, it's a shame that it got lost in the shuffle with the Storm series coming out. It got the same treatment as Infinite Worlds for Dragon Ball, but it was definitely a good game, man. Look at this, dude. Naruto Shippuden Shinobi Showdown, new episodes online. Gaara vs. Deidara, Might Guy vs. Kisame, Granny Chiyo, and Sakura vs. Sasori. Unbelievable, bro. And here we have what is this? Is this Kakashi versus Pain, bro? Dog, I forgot. I thought in my head, I was like, I remember this issue having Pain invading the village, but I didn't think it. I did not remember that it had Kakashi versus Pain, bro. Yo, and we even start off with the Obito flashback from like the transition between. I like how Kishimoto did that. Volume 27 of Naruto. It's the one with Sasuke and with the wings in the cover. I remember being confused the first time I bought that volume, because back then it was much cheaper to buy those flipping volumes. As a matter of fact, where are they? It's right here. So I got these 2 on the same day. I remember being so hyped, man. I was like, yo, I bought these 2 on the same day, thinking, look at that still has the price tag on it. $5.97, folks. $5.97. Walmart price. When did I buy this? I bought this. Does it say the date? It doesn't say the date. But anyways, still, $5.97, man. $5.97. So I remember going and buying both of these 2 volumes, thinking they both had Naruto vs. Sasuke. You know, but the fact that Naruto vs. Sasuke ended here, and this was the entirety of the Kakashi vs. Obito flashback, I can't lie to you, genius marketing on the team of over there at Shueisha, because they asked me to buy both. They asked me to buy both because I was like, yo, if both of them are gonna look like this, it's gonna have Naruto vs. Sasuke. Little did I know, only this was Naruto vs. Sasuke, and then the volumes before. And then this was just Kakashi versus Obito, but it's because of that or not Kakashi versus Obito, I'm sorry, Kakashi's backstory, So it was because of them that I even knew that Kakashi and Obito's backstory was a thing, because I didn't even know that was a thing, because they didn't cover it in the anime. So this was how I knew that Kakashi and Obito's backstory was a thing. So shout out to them, man. Shout out to them for genius marketing. I don't know if you could call it clickbait. I don't even know if that would be legal nowadays. It's probably someone to be offended if you sold them that nowadays. But but I'll tell you what, genius marketing, man. Genius marketing. But anyways. Yo, Kakashi thinking back, man, to those that he loves, of course, with Team 7 and the rest of the Ganin at the time. And then here we have, the squad with Minato. He's like, Obito, Rin, Master, I'm coming to see you now, dog. And here he sees his pops, man. It was such a beautiful moment, dude. Finally being able to see his pops again. And for us as viewers to be able to see his pops, man. It's fine, you see father. And there it is, bro. Kakashi. He flipped back over to Naruto. Flippy flag Naruto, dog. Ninja Hoopas, that's the same eyes as the Sixth Path Sage, man. I remember when that was just a thing of legend. And then we actually got to speak to the dude in the final war. But I remember when that was just a thing of legend. The legendary Rinnegan Bear, forefather of all shinobi, if they truly exist, it would not surprise me that they use all kinds of jutsu, dog. Yo, the pains were going in, bro. All of them. Oh, look at this. Look at these panels, man. Yo, Kishi was on his A game when it came to double page spreads throughout this entire stuff. The Jiraiya, I had this conversation the other day actually, right after Mr. X Reacts had a Gintama stream, and then after the stream, we started talking about other series and whatnot, and the concept of Naruto came up, and we started talking about our favorite arcs in Naruto. And I was like, I forgot what I said my favorite arc was, but I said my favorite stretch in Naruto, in both the original and Shippuden. My favorite stretch in Naruto is from Hidan and Kakuzu until the end of the Pain arc. That stretch right there, maybe it's because that was my first, at the time, that was my first real weekly manga experience for Naruto. That was whenever I jumped on for Bleach, for Naruto, and One Piece. So like I was experiencing all three weekly. Maybe that enhanced it. Maybe that's why I look back. Maybe that's why I look back on it so fondly, because that was where I experienced manga for the first time, right? But at the same time, I really do think that Kishimoto was on his A game. I really do think, man, because Hidan and Kakuzu was absolutely phenomenal. Then you had following the story from Sasuke's standpoint, where Sasuke was able to go out on his own mission, create the Hebi, take on Orochimaru, take him out, go on, fight Deidara. After Deidara, he goes straight up to Itachi, and then we learn the truth about the Uchiha clan. We learned the truth about what took place in that night. We learned the truth about Itachi, dog. That's one of my favorite stuff in the series. And then right after that, you go into the village hidden in the rain, and you have Jiraiya and Pain. Are you kidding me? And then you have this man Pain invading the village. Sage Mode Naruto coming in like a It may not be the best, but damn it, it's my favorite stretch of Naruto. It is. It has a special place in my heart, man. It really, really does, dog. That stuff was legendary. But yeah, man, Kishi was on his A game when it came to this part in the series. And just, it was so interesting because even whenever the Pains invaded, and I think this was a genius tactic by Kishi. There was two things. You know, there was the mystery of who the masked man was, because at that time we were all like, holy flagnards, bro. And then they were referring to, like, he looked like he was the real boss, especially after taking on Pain, and then you saw him pop up in the Rain Village. You were like, what in flying flagnards is Toby doing here? And then you saw the flickering Sharingan in his eye. You're like, yo, who's this? That shit was crazy. But the mystery of what the Pains were, because Jiraiya knew it, and then he had to pass on the message, and they were trying to decipher the message. So that this entire time we're trying to decipher the message of what the Pains truly are, and while that's going on, the Pains invade, and you're like, greatness, man, absolute greatness. Yeah, to even have Ebisu going up in like somewhere in these chapters. There we go, trying to learn about the messages. I was trying to with Pain, Konohamaru. Ebisu, bro. Konohamaru going up in like somewhere. Naruto finishing up his training. Tsunade with Kakashi. Dog. Conan. And then Pain and Tsunade. Konohamaru hitting the Rasengan, bro. Konohamaru fighting one of the Pains, man. That was huge. Because I would have been wondering when Konohamaru was gonna go up in like somewhere, and little did I know he was gonna do it against Pain. Look at this panel right here, dude. You are arrogant. Pain, yeah. This part right here with Shizune, it always reminds me of opening 7 of Shippuden. Love that opening. In battle, both sides suffer death, injury, and pain. It was like until Naruto was like the big. Now the world shall know pain. Are you kidding me, dude? Yo, this man Kishi real deal. Look at this. Almighty push. Everything got destroyed. Look at this, dude. Man. Greatness. And then, yo. When Naruto shows up, bro, I wish I had it, man. I don't have it. It's the July issue of that year. And I don't have it, but I'll tell you what, it is my most reread chapter in Naruto. And right here, of course, the ending whenever Naruto shows up with Gamabunta. But unfortunately, the chapter itself, chapter 430, in the actual manga, with the color page showing up, that page, dude, when it shows Naruto in his Sage Mode outfit, and it's top of Gamabunta, yo, he looks so fast. And you close it on the eyes. Sage Mode forever. One of my favorite transformations, man. And like I said, maybe it's because of that era. Maybe it's because of my first weekly experience, man. But Gear's second Sage Mode and Ichigo's first Bankai / the Hollow Mask will always have a special place in my heart. I say that, but whenever you ask me what my favorite forms are, I'll say Ichigo's final Getsuga form, Gear 4th Luffy, and then I'll be like Naruto's the one that combines the Sage Mode and the Kyuubi Chakra. That form is fresh. I love using that form in the games. Only your name can prevent wildfires. Yo. And then you have the Bo-bo-bo-obo, son. Nah. Where's here he is? The Jelly Jiggler, bro. Yo, the Jelly Jiggler is factually one of the funniest characters in anything, man. Sangare's secret technique refreshing oneself through binging. Yo, this series was I think my favorite thing about this series was that it like foreshadowed my love for Gintama. Because Bo-bo-bo was so random, but it didn't have like that overarching story looming in the background. Like it had the hilarious one-shot episodes and chapters, which I always enjoyed. But then Gintama and Beelzebub really took it to the next level with adding like an emotional side to that storytelling along with the comedy. But I still enjoy Bo-bo-bo a lot, man. Look at this, dude. My man's just firing missiles out of his head. It's sci-fi. Ripping Bo-bo-bo. Tegami Bachi, man. Now, I haven't read a chapter of this in so long. Chapter 2, Crybaby Boy Letter Girl, Part 2. It has a really, really nice art style, man. The art style kind of reminds me of D. Grayman's art style. Did D. Grayman ever have a run in English Jump? I don't recall. This has some really, really cool art, man. Just look at this. I like the close-up on the facial expressions and the establishing shots. They look really nice. Yo. Look at these panels, dude. I mean, really, really nice panel structure. Maybe I should sit down and read this one day. Very, very good shot composition. The YuYu Hakusho. Bro, look at my main man Kurama. Then look over at Yusuke Jing Uramashi, bro. That is prime Jing, bro. You got the Hiei. You've got the legendary Yomi-sama. Lord Yomi. Alright. And of course, Yukina. You got Hiei, Kuwabara. Mother flipping. Saga of the Three Kings, Chapter 8, man. How they spent their year. Oh, so this was the content that was right in between the... going from Chapter Black and then heading into the Three Kings Saga. Oh, so this should have Yomi... Yo, man, that classic Togashi artwork, bro. See, I always enjoy stuff like that. This is why I like reading Level E so much. Because it showed me, like, Togashi's... because whenever I would compare it to Hunter x Hunter, which is, of course, the work that I've read and watched the most. Even though I've been in with Hakusho longer, Hunter x Hunter, of course, is the one that I've rewatched and reread the most. And the one I'm most familiar with when it comes to his art style. I really enjoyed the way that he utilized his art style in Hunter x Hunter. Even though Hakusho probably has some of his best panels, like in the Dark Tournament, a lot of that stuff was really, really nice. But in Hunter x Hunter, where of course he utilized all the techniques that he had learned over the years and started putting it in there, I always enjoy his panels like this because the moment that I saw this panel right here, the first thing I thought of was Yorkman. Just the way that Togashi utilizes the night and a person looking out into like the stormy night or the dark night or whatever. And then just like a reflection of themselves within the mirror will like pop up on the side or something, Karapika stuff. And just, man. But bro, look at Ryzen. Ryzen the legend, bro. Yo, you have all three on this panel. Yomi, Mukuro, and Ryzen, bro. Mukuro. That stuff was so much fun, man. The Three Kings. Yomi and Kurama, dog. Yoko Kurama, bro. That's still probably... That's one of my top 3 favorite episodes in Hakusho. You know, it's hard because I really got to think about it. The final episode has a special place in my heart, of course. The final episode of the Dark Tournament. And episode 47, I believe it's called, which is, I think, titled Yoko Kurama. It has Yoko Kurama's transformation. And after he one-shots the individual, we look over back to see Yusuke's training. And that's whenever he saves Pooh, which is one of the most emotional, most incredible moments I've ever seen. And Justin Cook's voice acting in that scene, top SS plus tier, man. Amazing scene in the dub. Amazing scene in the dub, man. It's my childhood right there. This right here, I'm telling you, this reminds me of Chimera Ant. This is a Chimera Ant panel right here. You know what I'm saying? Yomi, bro. Look at this. Look at how you establish dominance. Look at this panel of Yomi, bro. Looking at it from the bottom. Like flipping flag guards. Oh, this is a nice shot right here, bro, of Kurama. That looks really cool. The way it's shaded. Yoko Kurama, man. Koenma. Genkai. Yo, the whole squad popping up. I remember watching the episode like it was just yesterday. My boy Chu. It's incredible. YuYu flipping Hakusho. Togashi Yoshi. Kurama. The best-selling manga in history, man. Now, I'm trying to remember, because I have a few issues of One Piece from that era. I have a lot of 2009. So, in that era, I remember that they were really, really behind in the things, which is why Alabasta, they went over to Impel Down. And I know that sounds really, really weird, but that's what they did. In the American Shonen Jump, they went from Alabasta to Impel Down. Because that's just how long it took them to get through all the stuff in One Piece. I don't think this is Luffy versus Crocodile, but I think it is. I think this is Luffy versus Crocodile. It is. Because I think the issue I have later on in the year, from November of this year, covers the Magellan and Luffy fight. So I think this is Luffy versus Crocodile. Let's see. It is, dude. The mausoleum in all its glory, bro. Look at this, man. With Cobra and Miss All Sunday, dog. Quite a national secret you have here. Yo, look at Crocodile, dog. I love Alabasta, man. Like I've told y'all many times. At the time, Alabasta was the signature arc in the best-selling manga in history, man. When I got into One Piece, the arc that everyone loved and raved about, that I saw online from the few One Piece fans that there were, and even people who weren't hardcore One Piece fans, but they watched it on the side, whether it be on television through the 4Kids, or maybe caught some Funimation episodes, because at the time the Funimation dub had already aired. Their favorite arc was Alabasta, and of course that was due to the fact that that was the only arc Funimation put on the air, or the only arc that was on the air at the time with the Funimation dub, and even with the 4Kids dub, people still loved Alabasta, and of course the manga version. And it was weird because volume 24, I remember, or 23, this one right here, this one came out in like late 2009, if I'm not mistaken, because they did the speed up where they just released a bunch of volumes in a year, but it started off with Alabasta. But that's because they were doing it here with the Shonen Jump volumes. But Alabasta truly was the arc at that time, man. It really was. I have 2 DVDs from that saga that I bought while I was at the store. From Drum Island and the End of Alabasta. It covers, I believe, it's from episode 119 to 130, which is some phenomenal stuff. Or I think it's 117 to 130. Which is like the whole final part. I believe it has Sanji and Bon Clay, Nami, going up in like swimwear. I believe her battle with Miss Doublefinger ends, and then you go up. Episode 119 is Zoro versus Mr. One, and you continue on when you see Vivi yelling up to Crocodile. Luffy shows up with the water on his back, and then they have the round 2, and then they go down the mausoleum after Luffy's supposedly defeated. And that's whenever you have the moment right here that we see right here. But yeah, man, that was the arc at the time, dude. That was the arc at the time. Yo, look at dude. Oda just crocodile, dog. Yo, I gotta read this. I'm sorry, right? I gotta read this out loud. So this is the poneglyph A. Nikorobin. That was quick. Most unusual, mysterious. Were you able to decipher it? Yes. Then read it to me, this poneglyph. Kaido was conquered by Alabasta. That was in the year of heaven 239. In the year 260, Timer of the Betain dynasty took the throne. The Great Taf Temple in Irumaluk was completed in the year 306. In the year 325, the Great Hero of Altea Mamuden. Hey, oi. Stop, this isn't what I want to know. I don't care about this kingdom's history, just tell me where it's hidden. The secret location of the most destructive weapon in the world. I'll never forget the first time they brought up the ancient weapons, and I was like, ancient weapons? Excuse me? Because I remember they initially brought it up on top of the tower whenever Vivi and Cobra were confronting Crocodile. And then Crocodile started talking about this ancient weapon. I was like, whoa, ancient weapons? What are we talking about, Skip? But it's not recorded here. This is just a history of the kingdom. There's no mention at all of the Pluton. Look at this, yo. Just look at this panel structure, dog. Look at this panel structure. I see. How unfortunate. And you can see Crocodile's just sick face. He's like, well, all right, well, I suppose. How unfortunate. You were an excellent partner, but I'm gonna kill you now. The deal we made 4 years ago has come to an end. My man said your contract extension has ended. All miss all Sunday. You're being sent into free agency. That's basically what Crocodile told her, dog. You were the one who came to me, saying if I brought you the poneglyph, you in turn would give information about the Pluton. Yo, man. Strikes forward at Robin, but I feel no anger towards you. Do you know why, Nico Robin? Yo, man. Here we have the water. Crocodile even catches the water. The water splashes. Knife goes in. And then here we see. Look at that, man. Classic Oda panel structure right there with the white background in the back as a devastating blow was delivered. I really enjoyed that, and I really enjoy the current. I always say it's Oda's evolution, and as he continues to go through and evolve and change his style and the way that he draws his manga. But at the time, especially in panels like this, I really liked how his art style. I really love Dragon Ball's art style because of this. The white backgrounds and like focus on the character on the characters as they would do certain things, especially on a key pivotal moment, especially in a moment like this, whenever you have Crocodile. I mean, he was already a heel, but turning on and betraying Robin. That's a moment that doesn't need a background, especially with all the establishing shots that we got just previously with the massive poneglyph right there behind them and then the mausoleum around them. You don't need the background there in order to establish that and to show where they are. Instead, he just focuses on the characters. I never trusted anyone from the start. Crocodile, dog! I know from Cobra's reaction that the Pluton doesn't need to exist. Instead of relying on this old rock, I'll find it myself once this kingdom is in my hands. It will only be a matter of time. Yo, and then you have the Cobra speech, bro. Yo, Alabasta! What's happening is too simply explosion in the square. What did you do? Nothing much. By removing one small column, the stability of this underground chamber has been compromised. It's collapsing. You two will die here with me. As the 12th ruler of the house of Nefeltari, I will not surrender Alabasta to the likes of you. No! Greatness, man. And that's whenever Crocodile just starts laughing, man. The talking about how everything's gonna get destroyed. How, what does it matter to keep that whenever you're about to die and you're about to be buried in the sand? You will die like a dog, Cobra. And then here we have Vivi herself attempting to solve the mystery of what is going on and like the space for the cannon. And then here it is, man. Alabasta, the greatest. Look at these panels, dude. Seeing all the Straw Hats as Vivi's sending out the signal indicating where it is that the bomb is going to be coming from. And then you have my boy Luffy waking up. Dog! This gives me goosebumps, bro. I'll never forget the first time that I watched all this, man. Luffy looks down at the mausoleum stairs. And he starts going, bro. Dude. One of my favorite things. And I know this is probably a little small thing. But during this fight and in the Lucci fight, Oda used to show Luffy's feet and his legs as they would be bloodied up. And I thought that it was very, very fascinating. And the sound effect that they would have in the anime, because Luffy didn't have any sandals on, was very, very... It just stuck with me. Because the way that it would do it in the anime is, as Luffy would be fighting Crocodile, he would take like these type of steps going in the mausoleum, and you would hear... And it was just like these weird footsteps. But every time I think back to Alabasta, I was like, yo... and then whenever, of course, I went back and I reread it for the first time, I was like, man, the anime really captures what Oda was going for there, with like the specified footsteps. I had always wondered why the footsteps sounded like that, but if they were really going to adapt or wanted to adapt the anime in a really nice, in a really good adaptation, not just visually but also from a sound standpoint, it made me wonder like, why does it sound like that? And then I realized the way that moisture, or the way that that whenever your foot, because I thought about it, whenever I go to water park or I go to the beach, my feet makes more sound whenever there's water under it, and whenever I'm running on concrete or whenever I'm running on whatever, it makes more sound. whenever if it's like a solid surface whenever it's wet. And so the fact that the anime went out of their way to have Luffy's footsteps be that much louder because his feet are bloodied, to me was a very, very fascinating thing. Now I'm pretty sure that's a coincidence. I'm pretty sure it doesn't. It was just a thing they included. But to me it was cool. To me it was cool because not only is it inside of a mausoleum, so that way it echoes all the way around whenever somebody's running, but then there's also that effect. I don't know. I'm weird. I know, but I thought that was interesting. Man. So then we have, of course, whenever Vivi is going off and they just finished tipping off the enemy, everybody's going in and going towards Vivi's location as Usopp is trolling. As Usopp is trolling everyone. Good old goats. Excuse me. And then you have... Yeah. Bro, you have my main man Luffy. He finds Crocodile. Look at this panel. Look at this panel. Yo. Luffy and Croc found you, Croc. Why won't you die? I keep killing you, yet you keep coming back for more. Hey, Mugiwara. Why have you come? Straw Hat. How many times must I kill you? You haven't given back that thing you stole. What thing did I stole? Money, honor, trust, life, or the rain? Which one do you feel? Crocodile's such a goat villain, bro. And then Luffy replies, the kingdom. The kingdom, you say such funny things. I'm about to take over the kingdom now once I become the ruler of this land. When we set foot on this land, the kingdom of hers was long gone. It's really her kingdom. She would be laughing a lot more. And then here we go, the battle commences. Look at this panel, dude. Luffy, wow. I mean, he just, boom. Crocodile right in the face. Look at that. You go right down. You get an incredible shot of Luffy's foot right here. His Crocodile is over the way over there. And then you see just a whooshing. And then you see Crocodile's face. Yo, my man Oda's on his A game, bro. I mean, he's always on his A game, but he was on his A game. Yo, if it weren't for you, Alabasta would still be at peace. And in the flashbacks, they hit so hard, man. Crocodile! And look at that. Bro, this is Santa Hat level stuff right here, man. Crocodile gets sent all the way back. He's like, bro, like, how am I getting hit? And then he's like, yo, you're using blood, bro. Amazing. Blood can make sand harden too, right? Amazing, man. And then you just go through here, you see the poisonous hook. And then you get another incredible panel of both of them squaring off once and for all, dude. Yo. Let's go back. You see Toshigi over there with everyone where Zoro and this was a big moment whenever you're initially going through Alabasta because you know, it was already established Toshigi and Smoker, especially Smoker, would be on the Straw Hat side. Whenever you see Toshigi going to help them to find the bomb, it just showed the priority and how Marines truly should act in a situation like that. It's prioritize the citizens rather than capturing some pirates. And so we continue to see some battles of the war with like Koz and whatnot. The clock tower, they look over there. Pell. And then we go back to Luffy and Crocodile, man. Man, dude, just look. I love this, dude. Whenever you transition over, you show an establishing shot of the mausoleum. You go back and immediately, multiple panels of straight throwing hands between Crocodile and Luffy. Look at this shot right here, dude. Look at this shot right here, man. Come on. Boat. And then Crocodile just stops him and says, what you doing? And he's attempting to hit him. He can't. Luffy gets up on the top. And he actually melts it down with a poison, man. Grown men throw. But can you imagine if we would have been reacting? If back in 2001 when Alabasta initially came out, that we were doing reactions here on YouTube to Crocodile versus Luffy. Dude, I'd be marking out just like I did for Katakuri versus Luffy. Just look at him, dude. Amazing. Look, just the small stuff. Just seriously, just the small stuff, man. Like having the mausoleum fall around. Then you see a shot of Crocodile, lower half of Crocodile's body, then the lower half of Luffy's body as they're going forward. Then you see their full bodies as they continue to clash, bro. Yo! Amazing. How Luffy utilizes his feet and the way that Oda managed to make it to where the shot, it feels so dynamic. And it doesn't feel bland. Like, you can feel it. Like, yeah, he just, boom, right on him. You still don't get it. We switch over again. They have a reunion, of course, with the rest of the Straw Hats. They all see together. They all see each other for the first time, and they look up towards the clock tower, and then you see Miss Father's Day and Mr. Seven, man. And that is where this issue of One Piece ends, man. Amazing stuff, dude. Like I said, Alabasta was the arc, and dude, I can't even tell you the amount of times that I reread this. I remember, I can picture right now. I can picture right now. I was rereading that part so much. Well, that this when it comes, oh crap, my thing's running out of battery. That's what I get for for doing this. But anyways, for the Luffy and Crocodile portion, I remember I was showing it to my cousins, and I was like, bro, y'all don't understand, man. This junk is so gold, bro. Like, yo, y'all need to get into One Piece, man. Of course, they got into it down the line, and they saw like the bits and pieces from the things that I showed them. And I guess I was a pretty bad fan then because I was spoiling them on a whole bunch of stuff. But they're tards now. Like, the younger one is One Piece's favorite series, and the other one, he's still catching up to it. So, they're, you know, I guess I did the good deed then. But still, man, like, I used to push it in their faces, bro. But like, look at this! Luffy throws hands! Yo, you want to try Luffy, bro? It's the GOAT. But then we head over, man, to the greatness, to the legendary saga of Bleach, bro. My saga in Bleach. And I'm gonna have to probably cut this video short after this, or probably just skim to the end after the Bleach part. But even if this thing dies, I mean, I gotta cover this Bleach part, bro. I gotta cover this Bleach part. Yo, man. Journey to Hueco Mundo. This is whenever they initially enter Hueco Mundo, when it's Ichigo, Uryu, and Chad. At the initial entrance, right before they go into Hueco Mundo. And Uryu shows off his brand new thing. Just look at this, man. Kubo was on his A game. Look at how beast Uryu looks right here, dude. Dog. The Ginrei Kojaku. Amazing. They're going up in like swimwear. And you see Chad. Dog, I was so hyped. Whenever this stuff was coming out, I was really hyped for to see what Uryu would do, but because I already saw what he did back in the Soul Society arc, whenever he took on Mayuri, I was like, yo, how when the Flying Flag is going to evolve over that? But I was really excited, of course, Ichigo, because he's always been somebody that I've loved the way that his powers work and just him as a character. But Chad I was excited for because he wasn't able to show off his stuff earlier on in the arc, whenever he was taking on number 16. So whenever right after that battle took place and Chad was taken out of commission and he went and trained with Kisuke for a while, I was like, bro, I really want to know how Chad is going to evolve and how he's going to, and what he's going to learn. And I actually have the other Shonen Jump issue that has him using the whenever he was fighting against Gamantine. So it's Chad. During this part of the arc, he was a beast. During this part of the arc. I don't know about the rest of it, but hey, during this part of the arc, my man was going ham. Just like they all were going ham. I mean, just look at this, bro. The excellence, the hype. Like, yo, what you doing, Hollows? Y'all in the Espada? Y'all are fodder! But, yo, man. When you have Chad telling you that's all you got. Flipping flag nerds, man. And this is whenever we saw the Hirin Kyaku. Uryu's Hirin Kyaku going up against the Sonido for the first time. I thought that was really cool. I love the sequence in the anime. It's really, really nice. You seeing Uryu go in like somewhere, man. The tiroteas. Yo! 1,200 arrows, bro. This man said, my Ginrei Kojaku fires 1,200 arrows. And then you have Chad on the other side. Like, man, I'm not gonna let a wimp like you defeat me, bro. Whenever he stops that tongue. Yo, let me read this. Are you done? This looks to me like an attack of the last resort. Alright. Excuse me, now it's my turn. Sorry, normally I don't enjoy finishing off an enemy who's lost his will to fight, but I think this time I can't afford to be nice. And then you, bro, just look at Kubo's battle, dog. El Directo. Get out of here, Skip. Amazing. And then Yo, and then Uryu's legendary line, tell him it's not the Soul Reapers he should fear, but the Quincy. Man, dude, Lord Aizen fears no one. GOAT! That's why we flock to his banner. To us who were born from fear, the path he walks, the path of fearlessness shimmers like moonlight. He is Aizen. This stuff right here, Hueco Mundo is my favorite location in Bleach. But this stuff right here, man, in both the anime and the manga is just so cool. You get a shot of the way everything looks outside with the sand, and then they walk out there and you see that it's nighttime. And you actually get to see how Hueco Mundo looks like for the first time, man. Because we had gotten some smaller shots, especially back with the Grand Fisher, whenever the Menos Grande showed up, whenever Aizen went up with the Menos Grande. The shots that we got whenever we would see inside of Las Noches. We actually got to see Las Noches before we got to see Hueco Mundo itself, as from the outside. But how he built up to Hueco Mundo and seeing it from the outside was just so cool, man. I love the way it looks. This is Hueco Mundo, man. There's some really, really cool shots of showing the entire area and how empty and bleak it feels. But it just looks so cool. Look at this incredible shot, man. Look at this incredible shot of Hueco Mundo, dog. Amazing. Amazing. Is it a palace or a fortress? Is this Las Noches? The palace like I was talking about, it's huge. The trees look like sticks next to it. It must be enormous. It's messing up my sense of scale. Yeah, and they were really far from that junk, dog. It was so cool just seeing all three of them together. Bro, y'all know what this is? Look at them. Look at the Espada. Look at them. As they all go to sit down to have tea with the goat. Look, just look, but look at the hockey emanating from this panel, dude. The hockey, dude. Look at Stark, dog, chillin'. Yo. Bleach. Aizen Sama. With Tosin and Gin, man. Good morning, Espadas. We've been invaded. But first, some tea. Who cares if I'm getting invaded, dog? Sit down and sip some damn tea. As my boy Laz would say, tea top one. Tea top one, man. Look at where the anime was at this point in time. Episode 112, 113, 114, 115, what is that, 116? Yeah, because that's Grimjow showing up. 116. So 112 being, that's whenever Orihime, that's right after, that is whenever Ichigo, Orihime, and Chad initially find out and they get like this presence that Rancor showed up. Episode 113 is whenever Chad and Orihime set out and they get fodderized. The end of the episode, Ichigo shows up. 114 is whenever Ichigo is taking on Yami, goes up in, and then he gets messed up by his inner hollow. Kisuke and Yoruichi show up, and then he gets told that he needs to be careful. Episode 115 is Ichigo being depressed. And the whole stuff with Rangiku and Orihime. And 116 is whenever Grimjaw shows up. Good episodes. Good episodes. Does everyone have a cup? All right then. Bro, look at this panel, look. This spot, bro. The seats from the outside and the color. Dude, I forgot about this. The seats in the outside as a title page. Please listen to me while you enjoy your tea. The way without enemies. Kaname, the picture, please. There are 3 intruders. Ryu Ishida, Yasutora Sado, and Ichigo Kurosaki, bro. Look at how excited Grimjow gets, bro. And I'm so glad I own Ichigo vs. Grimjow and these Shonen Jump issues, too. We'll have to go through that one day. Yo, man. Baragon, Aroniero, Xylopero. They were among the Ryoka that invaded the Soul Society and defied the 13 guard companies. So they came to, of course, rescue Orihime. Oh man, dude, I love this. Dude, this panel right here in the anime had me so shook, man. This was the episode that I used so whenever people would tell me that that Aizen wasn't about that life, I would always go back to this page right here. And I believe in the anime it's episode 144. But this part right here, whenever Grimjow was talking trash and he's being rebellious, and this man has to bow to Aizen because of the spiritual pressure he's letting out, bro. Let me read this. Grimjow. Your enthusiasm is appreciated, but I haven't finished talking yet. Please sit down. What's that? I didn't hear you. Grimjow Jagger-Jacks. Look at the spiritual, bro. Look at the spiritual pressure. This man was forced to get on his knees. On his knees. Amazing, absolutely incredible, man. Aizen-sama, bro. Look at this panel structure. You have Grimjow and Aizen over here, and you have a shot of the main important characters, the ones that we'd already been associated with earlier on the arc, with Yugioh, Grimjow, Gin, and Tosin. And the bottom, you see Orihime with Hueco Mundo, man. Bleach, dog. Bleach. And here, of course, you have them going through the sand, just looking through the hollows. They're figuring out that there's actually creatures and live creatures here. They're figuring out that the reishi concentration is extremely high, so they're going to be able to flourish in this type of environment. And then that's whenever Nell and the squad shows up, dog. Amazing, man. Hueco Mundo greatness, and that's to be continued for that right there. And then Yugioh GX, right here, man. The Winged Karibo. I haven't watched GX in so long. Panels right here. I only read GX through the Shonen Jump issues. I never really went out of my way to read it, but I did watch the show. The Light and Darkness Dragon. Living Flag. So let me skim through this before my thing dies. Excuse me. Look at the Kaido, bro. The Shining Breath, man. The Kaido. And then Gunblaze West. Wow. A Sakura card. A Tsunade card for Naruto. Ooh, some One Piece. Fearsome Pirate Flags. Oh, that's cool. Look at this. Some that people drew. That one right there is really nice. That's a true representation of our era, of the Big Three era. A hollow mask, the straw hat, a headband on a skeleton, man. A true representation of the era that we lived in, dog. The Big Three. Slam Dunk Volume 4, Bleach Volume 27. Eye Shield 21. Goat. Kenshin, One Piece Volume 21C. They were behind in One Piece at the time. In Volume 21. I mean, even this was ahead of the volumes. Because the content it's covering here is in Volume 23. Shonen Jump, man. Look at that, bro. The Sage Mode Naruto. The legendary volume. The one right there that I have right here. The greatness. Volume 23, man. And Ninja Council 4 on the back. And that was this issue of Shonen Jump, man. What an issue, bro. What an issue. So much great content, and even like that's what I'm saying, man. That's why I really enjoyed the Shonen Jump issues, because of course I was an avid follower of the Big Three, and then Hakusho I had watched whenever I was younger, so it was great for me to be able to re-experience it in its manga form thanks to the Shonen Jump issues. But I was able to get into series like and then Bo-bo-bo-obo because I watched it on television. But Tegami Bachi, Siren, Bakuman. A lot of these series that had like their first issues or the first few chapters in Shonen Jump published, I was able to get into them thanks to the Shonen Jump volumes. And for some of them, they stuck with me, like Siren, of course. Siren, I became a pretty big fan of the series thanks to getting the preview in Shonen Jump and Bakuman. I own the whole thing right here. So it's it was great. And the Shonen Jump issues will always have a special place in my heart for all the neat little stuff they did, like the question and answers with the fans, the drawings people would submit, and they would show them, and everybody showing their appreciation for all this awesome stuff. And it was, every time I look back at these Shonen Jump issues, it reminds me of the era that we lived in, man. The Big Three era and all the other awesome manga that were going on at the time. But it's always so much fun to just go back and go through this, you know what I'm saying? That's why I decided to make this video, just going back and reading through some greatness, man, you know? Because it's one thing to have these issues of Jump, and then just for collection. But I like to go back and reread them sometimes. And it's been a long time since I reread this, since this particular thing has some story behind it. I really wanted to go through it. And if you went through if you are still here, shout out to you, because this video's been going on for like an hour. I didn't expect to go on this long, but I ain't gonna stop it. I ain't gonna say no. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I hope everybody has an awesome sauce of a day. Take care. Shonen Jump awesome sauce. What an era and what a time, man. So much fun. So much fun, bro. But y'all have a good one. Stay blessed. The greatness, man.